Hey guys, 24th of September here in Central Illinois. Dare I say it, the most bankrupt and corrupt state in the Union, bar none. The old beer reefer is coming along pretty good. Some of what you're seeing here is just mock-up. I'm in the home stretch on this thing. Yesterday I did that in the rubber stamp, and that really turned out nice. Now the next thing I'll do is the label will be attached. It's basically sitting on the edge of that barrel right there, so it will be glued down into that panel, and then decoupage sealer will be put over the top of it. In fact, that label is totally different than what it was when I bought it, because it's been sealed repeatedly and decoupaged both front and back. And like I told you before, it's basically white glue. It goes on white, it stays white, and as it cures, it becomes transparent. So I think I'll have good luck applying that label. I will get I've got a Breyer, that's a roller that I use for my ink, and I think I'll buy a smaller Breyer, and once I put that on, then I'll roll that out and wipe off any excess that may squeeze up around the edge. At first I was worried about that. The way it dries and everything, I'm not too much worried. I'll wipe it off and then let it cure, and then I'll paint the top of it with another coat. The other thing that I've decided I'm going to do is that reflection there is the door handle. I'm going to paint it red. It just disappears into that door. And we've been going around, we've been doing our hand work on the back here. I've got this painted, and I will go back and look at it, because black over red paint sometimes it's hard to get a good full cover. If the black is a little thin, then the red shows through. So this is cured for the last couple of days, and I'll go back over it and make any touch-ups that I have to do. And the roof is just sitting on there just for effect. As you can see from the other side, we've got our highlighting to do. I am going to put a couple more rubber stamps on it. I'll put an air brake rubber stamp on it. I've got a 191 stamp. That's for the Ives cattle car, I believe. This is a 192. If I can get a 192 by itself, I'll stamp it 192. If not, I'll use the 191. Here, I'll show you the other side, and we'll talk about stamps just a little bit. But this came out really, really good. And that whole stamp, the block it was on, literally filled that car side. So it's a big rubber stamp. And I did a lot of practice on that as I was doing it before I did the car. And if it is flat metal with a strong back on it, it does just fine. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a small portion of it. Let's see what we can do. There we go. As you can see, there's just a small portion where it didn't imprint as strong as what I'd like. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have metal that will flex. That causes a real problem. And like I say, I practiced a lot with it. And every time I did it, I got a perfect stamp. Now, what you have in a car like this is, since it's uneven, and I applied a lot of pressure, but when you apply enough pressure that you hear the car pop, you best stop, because you're either busting a seam, a soldered seam, or you're bending it. So the older material is way harder to rubber stamp than something that's new. But it's coming along. I find it acceptable, and even with the lightness of the rubber stamp on the other side, I can show you real pieces that suffer the same fate, and they were new. So I think in about 2 weeks' time, I'll have this done. My brother and I are going to take a small trip here in the not too distant future. We're going out to Sugar Creek, Ohio, and I believe it's called Roundhouse Steam Age or whatever it is. It's a privately owned outfit, and it's absolutely huge. So we're going to go out to see that, and then later on I'm going up to Chicago to the art museum. So I'm doing a little bit of this. I'm moving equipment from my garage into my new shed that I got, so I'll have more workspace. And I've got a second car that I'm going to do. I'm in the process of buying some other beer labels, maybe something a little bit different. Something else that I might do, though, is this. I go out online, and I'm always looking for pieces that I can copy, more or less. I found private owner cars. There is a great picture of a Miller High Life beer car, beer reefer. And it has no railway stampings on it at all. In fact, what it's got is your Tube City. That emblem would be on both sides of the reefer car. And I may take, because I got a lot of these Tube City beer labels, and Tube City was in business from like 1908 to 1953, something like that. But these happen to mention that the revenue tax was paid, so these are probably before the war, about 1940, which is what I'm looking for. But what I might do is I might take and do a complete Tube City car, and then have nothing but the rubber stamps on the end. I think it would. I know the Miller High Life looks good, and if I could find some Miller High Life beer labels, I would do a Miller High Life. So that's where we're at, guys. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You have a good rest of the week, and hopefully the next time I have this thing do a video on it, it will actually be road worthy. Another fine job from the Corgi Bootleg Production Shops. So we'll talk with you later. Toodaloo.